Most owner-operators are one engine failure away from total bankruptcy. You've been told that to grow your business, you need a second truck. You've seen the fleet owner dream: 5 trucks, 5 drivers, and you sitting at home. But here is the reality they don't tell you at the dealership. A second truck is a $40,000 liability with a ticking time bomb under the hood. If you buy a second truck and the engine blows, you aren't just out the repair costs, you're out the driver's salary, the insurance, and the revenue. You've doubled your risk, but you haven't bought your freedom. Today, we are flipping the script. I'm going to show you why the no miles left strategy starts with the first asset, and why that asset is always a trailer, never a tractor. We are breaking down the math of clean revenue and how to build a fleet that earns while you sleep, without the mechanical nightmare. If you're ready to start owning the industry instead of just working in it, stay focused. This is where your empire begins. Let's look at the anatomy of a truck versus a trailer. A truck is a complex machine with thousands of moving parts, an after-treatment system that hates you, and an engine that costs $30,000 to replace. When a truck sits, it loses money. When it breaks, it consumes your soul. Now look at a trailer. No engine, no transmission, no complex electronics. It is essentially a box on wheels. The maintenance on a dry van or a flatbed is a fraction of a tractor's overhead. While a truck depreciates the moment you turn the key, a well-maintained, specialized trailer holds its value for a decade. When you buy a second truck, you are buying a second job. You have to find a driver you trust not to wreck a $100,000 machine. But when you buy a trailer, you are buying a serviceable asset. You can lease that trailer to a power-only driver who already owns their truck. They take the mechanical risk, they pay the fuel, they deal with the breakdowns. You simply collect the box rent or a percentage of the load. This is the difference between active scaling and passive leverage. One requires you to manage a person, the other only requires you to manage a contract. Choosing your weapon: dry van versus flatbed versus reefer. But not all trailers are created equal. To maximize your ROI, you need to choose the right weapon. A dry van is the easiest to start with. It's the backbone of the industry. The barrier to entry is low, but so are the rates. It is a volume play. A flatbed commands higher rates because it requires more skill to tarp and strap. Because fewer drivers want to do the physical labor, the demand for flatbed equipment is always high. Then there is the reefer. Refrigerated trailers pay the most per mile, often averaging $2.40 versus $2 for a dry van. But a reefer has an engine. It has maintenance. It has red light emergencies at 3 a.m. For your first asset, I recommend the specialized flatbed or step deck. Why? Because it offers the highest clean revenue ratio. You get the premium rates of specialized hauling without the mechanical headache of a refrigeration unit. By month 18 of your exit plan, your goal is to have one specialized trailer being pulled by another driver. If that trailer nets you $1,500 a month after maintenance and insurance, you have just replaced 15% of your driving income with zero labor. That is the first brick in your exit ramp. So, how do you actually make money with a trailer you aren't pulling? You have 2 paths. Path 1 is trailer interchange. You partner with a small carrier that needs extra equipment. They pull your trailer and you take a daily rental fee, typically between $25 and $40 a day. It sounds small until you realize your overhead is nearly zero. Path 2 is the power-only split. You find an owner-operator who has a truck but no trailer. You provide the equipment and the brokerage connections, and you split the load revenue 60-40 or 70-30. This is how you scale to six figures without owning a fleet of trucks. You own the equipment gap. In the Logistics Leverage Vault, I've included the trailer lease agreement templates and the asset ROI calculator. This tool tells you exactly which trailer type is most profitable in your specific region, whether you're in the construction-heavy Southeast or the retail-heavy Midwest. You don't guess, you calculate. You don't buy a truck because it looks good. You buy a trailer because the math says it's freedom in a box. The path to no miles left isn't paved with more driving. It's paved with more assets. Every month you spend without an asset working for you is another month you are forced to keep that steering wheel in your hands. You can keep being the labor, or you can start being the landlord of the highway. I've put the full asset acquisition guide and trailer leasing contracts inside the Logistics Leverage Vault. Join the priority waitlist in the description right now to get 50% off when we launch. Stop building someone else's fleet and start building your own. Subscribe to stay focused on the system. I'll see you in the next one.